Hello Aquarius gang, Aquarius Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Welcome to my channel. I'm happy to have you here at the Intuitive Teacup. That's me. My name's Annie and I'm going to read your tarot cards. This will be a general message for Aquarius Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Please come into the reading with an open heart, an open mind, and only take away what resonates with you. If the messages that come through don't resonate or fit your circumstance or scenario, feel free to push them aside. You may choose to revisit them at a later date. Sometimes messages come through that will make sense at a future date. So again, just be open to that. You are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. Let's do it for Aquarius. Let's get a couple more shuffles and we'll pull some tarot. What does Aquarius need to hear from the tarot this week? And thanks for your patience, guys. I was a day late posting. I had too much going on and I wanted to give you the best energy I could versus giving you a sloppy one where I was exhausted. So worth the wait, I promise. You have my full energy now. Let's do it for Aquarius. Starting off with a little anxiety. I don't know how I feel about that, but we're gonna get you through. That's what I do here. Let's be solution oriented. All right, let's start here. So a message is coming in that may cause some anxiety. Now the thing is, you may actually be the one relaying the message, but it's sort of one of those things where you don't, I am almost getting like you're being a little bit peer pressured into relaying some heavy news to someone, and I'm not even sure that it's your message per se. I know that's a little bit confusing, but it's almost like you've been chosen as the liaison. It's like you're being commanded by this group of people, like, oh yeah, go tell so-and-so that, they're fired, or that, they have to be demoted or taken off the project, or it could even be something with your family, like, they can't host Christmas this year because I'm going to do it instead. So, go tell your sister, go tell your, like, there's some news that I think you're needing to relay to someone. And I don't know, this person is not going to take it well. And the thing is, I think you already know that because you look kind of hesitant having to go into it. Feel free to switch the roles. It's possible someone relayed some news to you recently where you were just like, are you kidding me? For some reason, I feel like for most of you, this might be a family dynamic. Whoever is relaying the message, this messenger, the Knight of Swords, who has an important information to share, right? He or she, right, doesn't seem super confident. Like they're looking back over their shoulder like they need positive reinforcement or encouragement. Like, so I think I'm going to say this. Is that right? Like, that's sort of what I'm getting. Like, this person is not confident. And so I don't know why they're being chosen to relay the message. I don't know. Maybe it's because, the group, the entity behind them has chosen this person because they're sort of the most diplomatic, or they're the most, I don't know, I would say maybe like gentle or good at relaying information. I'm not saying that's not true, but I don't know. Then if that was the case, why wouldn't like the King of Swords be chosen? The Knight of Swords can be a little bit flighty, and a little bit impulsive. The Knight of Swords sort of, thinks something and then does it. It doesn't always process things, like, because there's so much going on, like it. And this isn't a bad thing per se, but sometimes the Knight of Swords can lack precision or attention to detail. It can be a little bit scattershot. And so maybe this person knows that, and so there's almost like a dread or an anticipation of, okay, I've been chosen to do this, but how and why? So let's move here, and I'm going to try and see how these connect here. So let's see. This is Moon in Libra, Two of Swords, and the King of Cups. I'm trying to understand who these people are, or if there's multiple people. This news is going to isolate this person very much. And it might go both ways. By relaying this news, this person may cut off communication with these people. And I'm not sure if that's the goal or not. Like, if it is a work scenario and this person is being laid off or let go, then, of course these people know there isn't going to be that same relationship. But if it's a family dynamic, that's where the red flag is, because in theory, we don't just want to cut off our families. And some people do. I'm not here to judge, right? Everybody has a very complicated, complex family dynamic, but I don't know, in theory, if this person is having to accept some sort of difficult or troubling news, I think this person is sort of going to completely disassociate from this group because they're very disappointed or disheartened by the news. I see themselves sort of putting them themselves in some sort of like isolation, or not wanting to come out and be seen. Someone also, there might be medical news that's being relayed where this person needs to be sort of like in recuperation for quite some time. I don't really do medical readings, and I certainly don't do scary fear-based readings, but for some of you, if that already resonates, I do see that coming through, like news that maybe the surgery or the procedure didn't quite take, and so we're not in the clear yet, so this person has to go back into this sort of healing, meditative, isolated, almost like a quarantine mode, for the purposes of healing, because again, they're not quite there yet. This hasn't really finished out or tapered out. If this has to do with, hold on, I almost want to say there's like 3 characters showing up here. I'm struggling with this a little bit, Aquarius. What's going on here? Where is this person coming from? What can I put under the King of Swords? Or I'm sorry, the King, that's funny, the King of Cups. What is his intention here? Like, because there seems to be an offer coming to the King of Cups that he's not positive he wants to choose. All right, coming from the Queen of Wands. Communicate. And then while this person is isolated, what are they going through? Okay, so wellness. They're trying to heal and build from. These two, I'm pretty sure, are the same. Whatever happened here, this message, this news, this disappointment, this person is going to isolate and they need to like process it. This person might be very watery by nature. They might have, very sensitive feelings and emotions. This could be you, Aquarius, right? But when they sort of isolate and disconnect from all the craziness and chaos going on, they're just kind of focused on their own wellness and their body. And maybe trying to get a little bit of their strength or even their self-confidence back because something has recently knocked this person. So this person is a healer, but are they going to step up and help? What is the link between these two, please? How is the King of Cups? Is this a father figure? Is this a medical figure? Yes, some of you are going to seek alternative methods regarding a medical plan or a medical procedure. You may want to get a second opinion. What is the link here? Okay, so it's probably family or a boss. If this is a layoff or a furlough, there's probably news coming in of a job that is much better suited, that's actually going to be a lot more fun and better for this person's mental health. So if this is you, Aquarius, if you recently had some sort of layoff and it almost felt like a small death, that kind of thing of like, oh my God, well, what am I going to do and how am I going to survive? You need to take care of yourself and your survival, right? And remember not to feed those negative thoughts. It's not really about denying their existence, right? It more just comes from a place of survival of you have to make sure you have a roof overhead. You have to make sure you have clothes on your body. You have to make sure you have food in your tummy, right? Like the bare essentials are coming through here. And I'm not saying you all are going to be destitute and out on the street. Please don't interpret it that way. What you are being asked to do is control where your thoughts go, because believe it or not, you do have control over what you choose to accept and believe as the truth. I'm not denying that some of you are going through a really difficult time, but how much power and energy you give to thinking those negative thoughts or wallowing in this, life is terrible, I'm going to be in misery. It's up to you how much time you choose to sort of engage in that sort of thought pattern versus realizing and recognizing, understanding, okay, this is feeling uncomfortable. I don't like where my mind is going. So I'm going to choose to focus on something that I can control, something that is in my hands. For instance, my body, the amount of sleep I'm getting, who I'm choosing to hang out with, seeking resources or allocations if I need help, or seeking counseling if I need help, seeking a best friend who can sort of counsel me or just give me a pat on the back or give me a hug or whatever it is that you need, Aquarius. Like these thoughts are not doing you any service right now. So again, it's important to acknowledge that they're happening, but then being very solution oriented, and break it down one at a time. If you have a million things that you have to do because of this new change or this situation, take it a day at a time. Give yourself one task to accomplish that day, or one task to accomplish that week. Your timeline is going to be different, but you can't just not get out of bed in the morning because you feel like you're crushed by all these tasks, responsibilities that are just weighing heavily. You need to be active. You need to get up and build it. You need to set the game plan and you need to go after and achieve it. It's not a time to rest on your laurels. However, it is a time to focus on your body. So obviously, if this has to do with a health issue where you are, hung up in bed for a few weeks or whatever, then do something productive that you can, read a book, do something that inspires you or activates your mind, allows you to grow and thrive even if you are in a little confined space, right? So anyway, when you do put your energy into something positive and productive, something comes from it. There could be a connection or a reinitiation with the family. There's someone in your family who's a bit of a trickster or who likes to have other people fight their battles for them. There could be a mother figure behind this, only it's like they're sending the father figure out to go and fight the battle for them. And so there's a little bit of like a scapegoat or I don't know how else to put it. There's a kind of a weird energy from this King of Cups. Usually I really like the King of Cups. I don't love it here, but the link between the King of Cups and whoever this is, maybe this isn't you, but I don't know, for some of you I feel like it might be. I don't know. Up to you to decide. What's between them is a very strong card of family or prosperity, business, longevity over time. Some of you, this is just saying that your healing process, your journey of healing and coming back into wellness, it's going to be a process. It's not going to happen overnight. So in a sense, pace yourself. Understand that this isn't going to be an overnight success story. It's not going to be a Cinderella story of, I just feel better instantly. It's going to take time, but all the more reason to put your mind, body, spirit, energy into this, because it's going to eventually become the the 10 of Pentacles. This is very positive, but again, it can't be rushed. You can't just snap your fingers and have a family, right? The Pentacles grow over time. It's about roots and establishing something in the soil and growing it and nurturing it and giving it longevity. Okay, some of you may have gotten, Some of you may have gotten news about pregnancy and it was probably unexpected or unplanned. And so you may have a very difficult decision/conversation to have with your partner, because for those who resonate with this was probably unplanned. And that may go back to this whole story of you may have had a very difficult childhood. And so you may be having sort of visions and trauma and memories resurging of, what happened to you in your childhood and not wanting to repeat that or, avoiding it entirely. Yeah, that was what this could be too. Just unexpected news that's a little bit scattershot. Like it comes out of nowhere, but it is potentially life-changing. Again, it's a slow process. And obviously this is a very personal issue. There's literally no judgment here. Whatever you choose to do, just listen and honor your own heart, listen to your intuition, do what's best for you and your partner. I do see a lot of you going through with it though, and I think you will be surprised. This is going to offer a chance for a lot of you to heal yourself and your own sort of childhood wounds or trauma. What's interesting is before even the arrival of this child comes, you're doing some internal work. To be honest, and I hope this doesn't offend anyone, I actually think it's a very positive message. A lot of you may seek out some sort of therapy or counseling to sort of tackle some long-standing issues that you've never really been able to build constructively from. It's almost like you needed an outsider perspective, an ability, or just a space, someone to hold space for you to sort of reflect on the past and I don't know, clear some thoughts out that have maybe been triggering you or crippling you for some time. This could be you finally getting ready to get rid of these thoughts, right? Rather than having to feel like they're shackled to you wherever you go. This might be a really good chance for you to walk away from these. Declutter your mind, declutter your heart space, declutter your house. There might be actually a lot of purging going on of things that you've been carrying around for a long time that you don't need anymore. Some of you, a father figure is going to approach you and agree to help you with a large chunk of finances or a large sum of money. It could be for property, especially if, or possibly your own business. If you're growing your own business or building your own house, building your own something, it's almost like you're being presented as a page or, a student, someone who's a little bit wet behind the ears or immature. I don't know, this might be a good idea and you may have been apprehensive to share the idea or ask for help. I do see it coming from some sort of generous father figure who maybe has a lot of money or resources that they could help allocate for this. I see that being very positive, but it's like you have to ask or you're never going to get it. There's a huge importance being relayed here on using your words, of being a good advocate for yourself, of communicating what you need. And for some of you, that again, there's a message here of communicating what you need mentally, spiritually, physically, especially from a medical team. Don't be intimidated just because they have all the PhDs and whatever. You know your body better than anyone else. So especially if you've been doing like medical trials or experimental drugs, or do you understand what I mean? You need to be a really good advocate of, no, I don't want to try that anymore because it makes me feel like shit. Or, you know what, I keep hearing about this and my friend has tried it and they have good results, so I really want to try this. Do you understand what I mean? You need to be a really good advocate for what you need. And And I don't necessarily associate this message with Aquarius, but not being easily swayed by outsider perspective. I would say really try and foster relationships in your life right now that just allow open space for you to process your thoughts, but again, with someone there to bounce back ideas with. They're not trying to brainwash you. They're not trying to, exert their power of influence over you. It's not that. It's just you need a place where it's like we can get these thoughts up and out, so you're not just grappling with them internally. You just need someone to bounce some ideas off of, and where you will welcome it, Aquarius. Maybe a little bit of outside perspective of, oh, well, have you thought of this, or do you think you would ever try that? Because something about that, there's a richness in the value that this person can offer you, but you have to be open to hearing them out, or you have to be open to sharing your ideas, because otherwise it's like there's a big block here, there's a big wall here. Yes, some of you, this person is going to be, I'm hearing the word essential, crucial. What's the word I'm grappling for though? Instrumental in helping you achieve some sort of major success, either in your health and wellness or in your career. Some of you may actually choose to go back to school for something holistic. It could be alternative medicine, or it could even be sort of like spiritual services, but this person may actually help lend you the money so that you can go and do that and get that degree. And that may actually be why you're isolating too, because you might be hitting the books really hard. So I think it's actually saying if you are going back to school and you're all in and it requires a lot of your precision and time and attention, make sure you're not so isolated that you're missing out on, again, richness and valuable relationships that are actually quite good for you spiritually and emotionally, Aquarius. Whew, we finally got there. That one was throwing me for a bit, Aquarius. I'm not gonna lie. Let's get you an angel card here. This deck is new, Angels Among Us. You don't have to go at this alone if you don't want to. In fact, I think it's harder for you to go at it alone. So there's a balance here of isolating yourself in terms of respecting yourself and having time to rest and recuperate and recharge your batteries away from all this chaos and craziness, but also not to the point where you're missing out on essential foundational relationships and people who could inspire you and help you, they want to be generous with you if you'll allow them to be. So, and yeah, for some of you, you're about to be a parent, even though you never thought you would be. So congratulations, Aquarius. Yeah, for some of you, you may have struggled to get pregnant for a long time. And so when it does happen, obviously this isn't everybody's story. When it does happen, it might happen quite unexpectedly. And it kind of throws you into this chaotic world of, oh my gosh, well now I have to read all the books and I have to make all these appointments. And you're going to be fine though. Look. Super cute. If that's your story, congratulations. Good luck. Good luck to you, Aquarius. All right. And others of you may interpret that sort of, idea of pregnancy as, nurturing a seed of some business opportunity or something you're going to grow. Mary Magdalene, divine feminine, devotion, and sacred sexuality. So I'm going to read from the book for you guys. Page 19. The key words are devotion, divine feminine, and sacred sexuality. As a symbol of the divine feminine rising in our modern times and the patron saint of penitents, sinners, sex workers, sexual temptation, women, and hairdressers, the jury is still very much out on exactly who Mary Magdalene was in her human life. While most will agree she was a disciple of Jesus, many agree about her background. She was a prostitute filled with demons or a priestess of Isis. Was she simply a beloved apostle, or was she Jesus' lover, wife, or mother to his child? This mystery is part of the magic that she offers us. One thing is certain, Mary Magdalene will be whoever she needs to be for you. The oracle says, embody and embrace your divine feminine power, surrender to the mystery of the divine and the magic of life. Follow the wisdom of your own heart above all else. In love and relationships, show love and devotion to those you are in relationships with. Explore sacred sexuality in your romantic relationships. All right, an interesting oracle card. Let's get you some power words here. Personal power oracle deck for Aquarius. For Aquarius. Oh, you know what? We'll take them. They're pretty short keywords. I can change my thoughts. Absolutely. We had mentioned that earlier. Does the camera focus? I'm going to put that right here. Remember we talked about that? I can change my thoughts. How much power you give to your thoughts is entirely up to you. Those actually are within your control. Them popping up isn't necessarily. Sometimes it just comes up, subconsciously, but you can control how much power you invest in those. I am ready. Yes, you are. I trust in divine timing. Even unexpected divine timing. I am wild and free. I'm going to put that right next to Mary Magdalene. Boom. And then I am supported. Absolutely. I'm going to put that next to your King of Cups and possibly all these people down here. This could be a team or a network of people that are wanting to reach out and help you. They may have even reached out to you and offered sort of a cup of emotion, sympathy, help, whatever, gratitude, emotions, all that, love relationships. But it's almost like the ball's in your court. They're waiting to hear back from you. I don't know. I just sort of get that from that message. But all right, Aquarius, that's what I got for you this week. Thanks again for your patience. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and I will see you very soon for more tarot. Bye, guys.